And now we're going to toss it over to Mike Maloof with this special sports report.
Just say we'll start off with the coaching staff, and John Duffy Doherty, a Norwood legend in the 70s and 80s at Norwood High School. I had the good fortune to play for Duffy, as well as two of my brothers who happened to be on two of the Super Bowl teams. And Duffy is the only coach that I believe has two Super Bowl championships while his time here at Norwood. His 1980 team was ranked 8th in the country and was just an incredible group of athletes, and really he just brought the Norwood football program up big time in the 70s and 80s. And then with going in with Duffy, it's almost, people would think of it as a tag team or a duo, Jack Martinelli. You know, Jack Martinelli was also part of the success of the Norwood football during the 70s and 80s. You know, I had the fortune of talking to Roy Johan, who was a football coach at Needham during the time that Norwood was at a heyday. And he said that the Duffy Doherty, Jack Martinelli duo of coaches was the best in the state. He said they just worked so well. Duffy ran the offense, Jack ran the defense, and they were really just a powerhouse. So the two of them were going together. But one of the exciting things, and a lot of people didn't realize unless they had the opportunity to run track for Jack Martinelli. Jack Martinelli, over his 14 years, was just incredible. You know, we looked at some of his results. During a 9-year streak, his record was 60-6. You know, he had 5 Bay State League titles. A number of his athletes went on to state championships. So, you know, he's known for a lot of the older guys my age about his football prowess, but is really as much about his track ability. So really excited about the two coaches going in this year. Yeah, and here's a good one. Tom Smells from the class of 1965, a hockey player for the Mustangs. 3 years, 2-time Bay State Conference All-Star, Herald All-Scholastic. Tom had an outstanding career, went on to play at Norwich, where he had a record 70 saves in one game, which is pretty impressive. Tom came back to Norwood, where he taught, and he also coached cross country and track, and was the first one to start the women's hockey program when it was a funded program. So Tom will be going in. And next, from the class of 79, Steve Salvatore. Steve was part of the Duffy Martinelli era, outstanding secondary player on the defense. From the class of 78 on the Super Bowl team, Bay State Conference All-Star, multi-sport athlete, captain of track, where he was, his speed, needless to say, helped him in the backfield. Steve went on to play Division I at the University of Colorado under the old Chuck Fairbanks, the old coach of the Patriots. So, you know, he was quite an athlete. Again, Division I athlete coming out of Norwood. Unfortunately, Steve passed much too early from MS, and you know, he'll be being inducted posthumously. Then we got two guys from the class of 86. First one, Kevin Keegan. Kevin was a football and a wrestler, and wrestling where he really showed his talent. He was a 3-time sectional champ, 2nd in the state, 3rd in the state. And what really sticks out is, as a guy who wrestled myself, knowing he lost, took a 2nd place in the states his senior year, but went on to wrestle the next week at the New Englands and won the New Englands. Wow. So that's a pretty impressive thing to do. Yep. You know, his high school record was 91-9, so he was the real deal for sure. Also from the class of 86, Bobby Goonan. Bobby was a 2-sport athlete, captain of the basketball team, also baseball, 2-time Bay State Conference All-Star, Global Scholastic. Had an outstanding career with the Mustangs, and then went on to continue his baseball career at URI. So really quite a baseball player. Then we move up into the 90s. Another great NHS baseball player, Stevie Grenham. Stevie's class act, Bay State League, Global Scholastic, Herald All-Scholastic, captain of the golf and basketball team. Went on to play 4 years at Brandeis, and we have a 3rd baseball player joining them from the class of 2003, and that would be Andy Mcnulty. And Andy was lights out as a pitcher. He was the Bay State Conference MVP, Global Scholastic, Herald All-Scholastic, URI after Norwood. So those are three really solid baseball players, so kind of exciting to see that group coming in. Next is something that we haven't had in a while, which is we have three ladies coming from the same class. And, you know, it's pretty hard to get one Hall of Famer, one Globe Hall Scholastic, one Herald All Scholastic. We had three from the same class of 2011. You know, the first one was Lauren Duggan, outstanding softball player, a pitcher, two-sport Globe and Herald All Scholastic. She had an amazing pitching record over her career at 67-4 here at Norwood High. And something that was very impressive also was she picked up track and field on the shot put late in the, I think it's possibly junior year, where she set the Norwood record and became a New England champ. Wow. Again, you know, the credentials speak for themselves. Went on to play softball at UConn. So, you know, Lauren Duggan. Next, Allie Maloof, outstanding hockey and softball player. And again, she was such a delight. And anybody who watched her in hockey and saw what she did was just, you know, spellbound by it, you know. But equally impressive with her hockey was her softball skill. Pitching with Lauren, I mean, the two of them had just an outstanding career for softball. What they did, I don't think you'll see a team like have two pitchers like that again. Just an outstanding softball player. Went on to University of Southern New Hampshire, where she led a stellar career there, set many records there as well. I believe she coached there for a year, helped out. And what's really impressive now is she's over with another Norwood High Hall of Famer, Tricia Brown at Stonehill, coaching the Stonehill softball team. So great to see, and really joy for me because I got a chance to watch these kids all 4 years. And then the third athlete out of this class, Corey Ryan. Boy, again, all three of these kids from this class were two-sport Globe and Herald All Scholastic. Corey was the same. She was from what I've seen over my many years involved, could well be the best female soccer player to come out of Norwood. Just an incredible athlete, great speed, and that speed in turn brought her over to the track team where she was a state champ and an all-state champ in the 200 and the 300. So again, Bay State Globe All Scholastic, Herald All Scholastic. She went on to 4 years of college down at Maryland on a scholarship. So you have three athletes from the same class that I don't know if you'll ever see that again. And you know, they all get in their first year of nomination, and that in itself is a tribute. But they were team athletes as well as individual athletes on their teams, and just incredible.
Congrats to all the athletes and coaches for being inducted into this year's NHS Hall of Fame class of 2022.